Okay, so welcome back everybody one more time. Welcome to the Genius Class 2023. The next task we'll be looking at is the suicidal risk assessment. The suicidal risk assessment. Let me share the screen so we can have a look on the screen one more time. Good, so here we go. So this is a case of paracetamol overdose, but essentially it's about suicidal risk assessment. Paracetamol overdose, scenario B. Background information. In this particular case, you're an FY2 in psychiatry. A 24-year-old lady has presented to the emergency department following a paracetamol overdose. The emergency doctors have assessed her and she's medically fit for discharge. And they have asked you to review the patient. So pay attention. You're an FY2 in psychiatry. Okay, the emergency doctors have assessed this patient medically, she's fit and not to be discharged home. But from the psyche point of view, you have to assess as an FY2 in psychiatry, though the patient is currently in an emergency department. The paracetamol levels has been checked and is below the treatment line. This particular information will be given to you in the task itself. What you must do is to talk to the patient and discuss management. So she took 14 tablets, patient information. She took 14 tablets of paracetamol following an argument with her boyfriend. The boyfriend wanted to break up with her. She had two similar episodes of self-harm in the past, following similar incidences where the boyfriend had wanted to break up with her. She denies trying to kill herself. She will tell you everything happened very quickly. It was all just emotional. She did not have any intentions to kill herself. At the moment, the boyfriend is in the waiting area. Approach to this particular task. Grips as usual. Then take the history of the suicide. So in this particular case, we have to find out in terms of what happened, when did she take the overdose, what was the intention, and what made her take the overdose. But it's important to remember that we need to have an approach before an attempt of self-harm, during the attempt of self-harm, and after the attempt of self-harm. Our history taking or our assessment must follow that particular order: before the attempt, during the attempt, and after the attempt. Let's begin with before the attempt. So, can you describe what happened for me? An open-ended question. Can you describe what happened for me? What were you doing at the time when you took the overdose? Did you plan to take the overdose? Where were you at the time? Were you alone? Was there someone else at home? Do you drink alcohol? Were you drinking at the time when you took the overdose? Where did you get the tablets from? You got the tablets, then what happened? Can you tell me when you got the tablets, then what happened? What did you want to see happen? By taking this tablet, what did you want to see happen? Before the attempt, did you want to kill yourself? So we're continuing before the attempt. So did you want to kill yourself before you took the overdose? What thoughts were you having beforehand that led up to the attempt? What did you think would happen if you had died? What did you think would happen if you had died? What did you think would happen after you had injured yourself or after you had taken the overdose? Was there any specific reaction you wanted to get from someone? In this particular case, a reaction from the boyfriend. Were other people present at the time? Did you make any preparation to make sure you were not found? So just a correction in here. Did you make any preparation just to make sure that you were not found? A small r. Yep. Let's make it bigger so you can see again. Did you make any preparation, such as writing a will or writing a note to someone? All these questions are before the attempt. Did you make any preparation, such as maybe closing Facebook accounts or bank accounts or switching off your phones? What did you think would happen if you were found dead? What did you think would happen if you were found dead? Is there anyone in particular you would have wanted to find you? Now we switch to the during the attempt. So what medication did you take? Where did you get the medication from? What did you take the medication with? Was it with water? Was it with alcohol? And how many tablets did you take? Did you think this number of tablets would harm you? Did you take any other medication other than the paracetamol? Continuing during the attempt, did you hurt yourself in any other ways, such as cutting yourself with a knife? If yes, ask more questions. What did you use to cut yourself? If you did cut yourself, why did you cut yourself? Did you think that was going to kill you? Or what did you think that was going to do? Now we go to after the attempt. Okay, so this was during the attempt questions. Okay, so one more time, during the attempt, what medication did you take? Where did you get this medication? What did you take the medication with? Was it with water or maybe with alcohol? And how many tablets did you take? Did you think that this number of tablets would harm you? Did you take any other medication other than the paracetamol? Did you hurt yourself in any other way other than taking the overdose of medication, such as cutting yourself maybe? If the patient says yes, then what did you use to cut yourself? Why did you cut yourself? Did you think that was going to kill you? After the attempt, did you seek help afterward yourself, or did someone get help for you? Who brought you to the hospital? Did you come on your own? You came somebody else? Had you planned to be discovered, or were you found accidentally? How did you feel afterwards? Did you regret your action? Do you regret being alive? Did you receive treatment afterwards in the emergency department? Because we are in psych. Are you happy to receive the help? Has your view of things changed, or is anything different for you since the attempt? Do you think you would do it again? Do you regret your action? Did you receive treatment in the emergency department? Are you happy to have received the treatment? Has your view changed since the incident happened? Do you think you would do it again? How often do you try to harm yourself? Has this happened before? If yes, how many times in the past has it happened? And can you tell me about those incidences? When was the most recent time? Can you describe your thoughts at the time that you were thinking most seriously about suicide? When was your most serious attempt at harming or killing yourself? What led up to it and what happened afterwards? So if this particular patient has done that twice in the past, it was similar, it was emotional, and again, it followed an argument with a boyfriend. Ask about protective factors. What keeps you from harming yourself? Is there anything you would make life more worthy living? Risk factors. Intake of alcohol. Did you drink any alcohol just before you took the tablets? Did you take the medication with alcohol? Do you use recreational drugs? Any previous low mood, in other words, depression? Have you ever been diagnosed with depression? And have you ever had any symptoms of depression, such as low mood or poor sleep or lack of energy, or maybe early morning awakening? If there is a yes to one of them, then how are your energy levels? Okay, how is your appetite? Then we follow up more for depression. This particular patient had no symptom of depression, so we don't have to follow all the questions. Do you have any mental health problems, anxiety, for example? Do you take any regular medication? So previous self-harm we have asked already, and what exactly was done. Again, it was taking paracetamol tablets. We have to find out how many paracetamol tablets was taken. Any other relationship? Do you have any brothers or sisters? Are they supportive? Do they know you're in hospital? If you were to go home now, where would you go? Have you informed anyone? A family history of suicide or self-harm is a risk factor. Sorry to ask you this question. Is there anyone in your family who has ever suffered a self-harm? Or is there anyone in your family with mental health problems? Do you think you need help with this? Do you ever hear voices? This particular patient, we don't need to ask these questions because she's very oriented and unlikely to have any other mental health problem. Okay, so in the family, family and friends, siblings, brothers, sisters, are your parents around? Do they know that you're in hospital? Have you informed any of your relatives? Okay, So we have mentioned that the risk factors of suicide includes previous suicidal attempt, any mental health problem, but this particular patient has always done it emotional and never wanted to kill herself. The intention was to get attention from the boyfriend. Complete the other history, which include the PM of TOSA, the ice, the effects of symptoms on patient life. As we said again, don't forget to ask about family and friends. Who do you live with at the moment? Are your parents around? Do your parents know you're in hospital? Is your boyfriend here with you? If you were to go home, where would you go? This is family and friends we have discussed before. Management. So explain that I will need to discuss it with my seniors, but at the moment I feel you are a low risky, of course, what we are concerned about, that if you go home, you may do it again. That is what we are concerned about. But from what you have told me, everything was emotional. So you didn't have an intention to kill yourself. So it's unlikely that you would do this when you go home immediately. Okay. And I don't feel you are a high risky. So we would be happy to discharge you home, but I just need to take a second opinion from our seniors. I also want just to tell you a few things. Paracetamol can cause damage to your life, okay? Could be potentially life-threatening because it can cause damage to the liver, okay? Damage to your health in here. Yeah, paracetamol can cause damage to your health. In particular, it can cause damage to the liver, and sometimes that could be serious. It could be life-threatening. So it is important that, of course, you try not to harm yourself in these situations, which has happened before, okay? It's good that this time you have not caused any harm to yourself, but we are concerned that next time you do this, it could have serious consequences. I do understand that you don't have intentions to kill yourself, which is why I'm happy to let you go home, okay, following a discussion with my seniors. Okay, so this particular patient needs education on self-harm, the consequences, that even if I have no intentions to kill herself, sometimes some of these actions can put her life at risk. Thank you very much.